And we're off. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And it is, Lord. It is, yes. Tuesday, December 3rd, AD 2024. And live on Facebook and D-Live, I'm pretty sure. It looks like I'm live on Rumble. It looks like I should be going on X, but nobody watches on X. And I don't blame you, but shout out to X. I like X, regardless. And Facebook, the faithful crew over there, probably going to be showing up soon. But, you know, I neglected to talk about what a boomer I am. I have this store. Did you know that I have a store, but I can't even sell anything on it. So I closed down my store and opened up a new one. But if you go to thehakereport.com/store, you can find the links. Or if you go to thehakereport.com, there's links to the store, the shop. Hake.printify.me. How simple can it be? Nice. Sort of. Hake.printify.me. It's my new shop. And I'm wearing my shirt, so let me know what you think of it. I like the color. I like the fit. I just don't like the print job. Because it's... Is it me or is it crooked? Is the E a little high? I think that the E is a little high. It's subtly wrong. Press 1 if it looks perfect to you. Press 2 if it's obviously crooked, like Hake's nose. And press 3 if it's a little iffy, but it's acceptable. I went with 3. That's why I'm wearing it today. I got another shirt that was just way over here. It's like 5 inches from this sleeve seam and then 7 inches from this sleeve seam. In the world. So Printify seems to have problems too. They just don't make quality these days, but I still prefer Printify to Teespring. But you can go to Teespring too, shout out to them. They have much more selection on the hakereport.creator-spring.com. So you can get your swag over there and, you know, they'll eventually, hopefully get back to you. I'm still waiting for stuff that I ordered back in October. And a follow-up on something that got printed way too high consistently over and over. So anyway, that's my little rant about that mess. Anyway, shout out. I'm looking at 3s. I'm seeing a 2. I don't see I don't see one single one. But I don't know if you guys would have noticed had I pointed it out because, you know, I sit at an angle. I have improper spinal alignment and whatever. Unacceptable, says Chris. 2. So anyway. What's up? Okay. But there is some things I want to talk about. Your calls to get to. People are just tripping out over Hunter. They're calling it a controversial decision, the mainstream media. And, you know, since I get my judgment from the media, my judgment of what's going on in the world, I get indicators from the media of how to judge what's going on in the world. And it may be wrong, but it's just how my dark mind works. So in my dark mind, I see when they call anything controversial, that means it's in the right direction. It's halfway reasonable. And so they called Biden's pardoning of Hunter Biden controversial. And so I know that means that it's halfway reasonable. So shout out to Biden for doing something halfway reasonable. Because part of what Hunter did was he bought a gun. And there's all these anti-gun mess legislation stuff. You can't buy a gun if you're on drugs. I disavow drugs. And you're not supposed to lie on the form when you buy a gun. And I disavow lying. But it's a anti-Second Amendment violation, honestly, I say. I'm for the Second Amendment. And the other thing was he was making money and he hid the money that he was making from these foreign countries from the IRS or something like that, according to what I've heard. And the taxes to IRS, that's unconstitutional, I say. So those are fake crimes. Those aren't real crimes. Yeah, I mean, he was a dirt bag, but hey, everybody's a dirt bag. Shout out to the dirt bags. Is it okay to say dirt bag? Because CJ violated my innocent mind about the word, don't say this word, kids, scumbag. You can't say that word because it means something bad. Shout out to the snake pit. Hake does the opposite of mainstream media. LOL, says Kevin Howe. Yeah, very unthinking. So that's my little spiel about the mess going on with Hunter. If the Democrats are mad about it, I'm happy about it. But that's not the right way to be, necessarily. But I'm indifferent about who cares? I'm indifferent about what Biden did regarding his son. There's always injustice in the world, and there's always preferential treatment. There are people above the law. They say no one is, but yeah, of course they are. They're not. No one's above God, but the law. Give me a break. The law is a joke, especially in joke people pretending like they care about Biden, because really all they care about is appearances. Biden violated their appearances. They were trying to keep up appearances, and Biden doesn't care about that. He's too old to care about that. And he's always never cared about that. He's Irish, you know? So I scoff at that mess. But anyway, I got to get to calls, and there's some other things going on that I would like to show you that I came across on X. The young ladies are a mess, and I do mean young. Tim Walz's daughter, some other black daughter, cute black girl, just making a mess in a store. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, you guys hear this talking in the background? Press 3 if it's acceptable. Press 2, but you hear it. Press 2 if it's unacceptable. Press 1 if you don't hear it. Anyway, guys, let's get on with the show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, wait, this is not right. Oh, it's the Hake Report. Let's do this.
Have you been naughty or nice?
Oh, it's the Hake Report. Sorry. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Hey, guys! So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I am wearing my Hake tee. Isn't it a nice color? I like the color, man. I love the color. Let me show it to you guys, okay, since we're here. And then I'll get to your calls. I will. I will. So hake.printify.me. Let's see if that works. Come on. Isn't that a nice, simple thing? Hey, for once, Hake did something somewhat simple. I uploaded my I Love Boomers t-shirt. Hold on. What in the world? Oh, yeah, white ink, black ink. Okay, I'm going crazy here. I updated the Obvious Globe t-shirt design. It's pretty cool. Facts versus truth. Which one am I wearing? Black ink, Hake logo. Now this is the only, I got four little sample things. Which one did I get? Is this it? No, I got old gold. Old gold is this color. And you see on the screen here, it looks darker than it actually is in real life. I noticed that a lot of their colors look a bit darker than they do in real life. It's a nice color, though. It's a nice sort of a mustard light, neutral yellow. Beautiful. And the fit is good. It is a Gildan, I think. Does that say Gildan? Can you guys tell? Well, I mean, it would say it right here. Yeah, Gildan 5000. You know it's good. Gildan 5000 heavy cotton tee. Let me know what you think from me. And I just updated it. I find it's a nice, comfortable fit, normal cotton material, not all smooth feeling like JLP likes. He likes the tri-blend. And not too snug. It's not too snug on me, right? It is a medium, but it works. The seams are off the shoulder, like it goes past the shoulder. It's not up here, and it's not up in my armpits. I'm not going to show my pits. Nice. And I designed oh, what am I doing? I'm not showing you guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, see this? Was I even showing it? Yeah, so sweet. Gildan 5000 heavy cotton tee. So that's I experimented with different ones. Cool. All right. Swag. Let me get to a call before I get into these things. Hayden in Texas. Hayden, is it Hayden or Hayden?
It's Hayden, hey.
Sorry about that.
You know this. I've been calling on your show for a while, man.
No, I know, but I don't know how you pronounce it. Say it again.
Yeah, it's Hayden without the Y.
Okay, Hayden. No Y. Nice.
No Y.
I was just making sure because
because
you know how you can say Hayden or you can say Hayden. So.
Yeah, that's the country way of saying it.
Hayden. Yeah.
it's like a silent I in it. But anyway.
Right.
Hey, yeah, so I'm not even going to address the last few times your brown callers mentioned me.
But you just did. Isn't that funny that you just did?
Well, I mean, it's calls are always. I'm not going to even tie to it.
Okay.
You know what I do want to I bring up. Have you heard the last? I know there's two that I know of, Stephen Miller and Tom Homan. They're admitted white nationalists, and they were a part of the whole Project 2025 thing. Did you?
Tom Homan is?
Also, that's what from a really good source I heard that. Yes.
But he didn't show up to the Groypers meeting, so I don't know if he is.
I was told by someone pretty credible that he is.
Okay, I mean I'm not saying that they're not or that they are.
I know for sure
who's the other guy you're claiming? Who's the other guy?
Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller. Oh yeah, Stephen Miller. He's Jewish though. Is he a Jewish white nationalist?
I'm not sure. I know for a fact that they're both. Per the credible source that told me this, that they're both white, and they're part of the whole Project 2025 thing, and also two other cabinet picks were too.
But you don't have a public source for this.
Not with me. If I call back in, I'll be able to give it to you.
I'm not necessarily asking for a source, but you have a credible source whom you don't want to name, and it's fine. I'm happy with that, I guess. So according to you and according to your source, you're sounding just like my other co-host who has his sources.
But
anyway, but the point is,
yeah,
they both seem like just decent Americans who want law and order with regard to the border. And I'll tell you, I can tell you that much. And and that makes them a white nationalist in the mainstream media's eyes. So what a mess.
100%. They definitely have the country's best interest in mind. Also, were you happy with the Kash Patel pick for FBI director?
I don't know. I like some things about him, but I'm just not sure about him. He has bug eyes, which I have bug eyes, and he flippantly says things. He seems to be a little bit showboat-y. I could be wrong about that. I don't. But that's just my impression. I like that he does seem tough against the abuses of the FBI and other, deep state type things. So I do like that part.
Yeah, he seems very credible. He says, per what I've heard, that he seems like he's going to go after the media and all the people that were trying to throw Trump in jail, those ones. So I'm like what I'm hearing so far from him, even though I didn't know too much about him before. But it seems it seems like everything's going in the correct direction as far as I'm seeing and hearing.
Yeah. Nice. Fair enough.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get your insight on that. Did you also? Well, you live in L.A. Have you heard a lot about the whole mass deportation stuff and what's his name? Newsom trying to Trump-proof y'all state?
I did hear about that. Pardon the clicking of my tongue. I did hear a little bit about that, and I actually have that in my little news report of today. How the ladies at the Skim are all over that. They're like,
yeah, read about that definitely.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, but it sounds like Homan is not going to slow down. It's not going to stop him as far as I'm hearing.
Good.
I mean, he's as tough as nails. That Homan man, Lord have mercy. I'm so glad Trump chose him.
Well, I hope it works out.
I do too.
Yeah.
I hope they stick to their word and do as they're promising, because it's from what I'm hearing. Oops. I mean, we're going to be set for a very, very long. I mean, we won the House of Representatives, the Senate, the presidency. I mean, that was a gift from God.
It was nice.
All three of those.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to. It was nice to see Trump winning and doing his thing. We'll see what happens. People are overreacting. I think people are kind of overreacting in both ways. They're overexcited about it, and they're both overly happy about it and overly angry about it. And let's just have a wait and see attitude, can we?
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
So if I'm being honest, I really didn't pay much attention to the Biden-Harris administration, like their cabinet picks and everything.
Yeah, their cabinet picks. I'd never heard of them. Most of them, or they were Obama holdovers. Trash.
Yeah, it was definitely Obama appointed picks and stuff. But I didn't pay much attention to it because I was so upset with the result.
Oh yeah, right.
So, but I hope what I'm hearing is not true. Is Trump choosing like Rhino Republicans as part of his cabinet as well? I've heard
probably.
Rubio sounds like one.
Oh yeah,
he definitely sounds like one.
He definitely was a Rhino in many different ways. People kind of liked him. I remember different people, like Tea Party type of people, being excited about him in his younger days. And there may be different aspects of him that are good. So maybe Trump can use those things. I don't know. So.
I just hope he should, because I know him and Rubio and some of his picks had a sort of iffy history together.
Right.
It's definitely in the political realm. I remember back in 2016. They were definitely going at it, but that's part of politics, though.
True.
They had to go because they wanted to show which one was more worthy of being presidency, and of course, Trump won in the end.
Marco Rubio was in the Gang of Eight way back in like 2008ish, who was working with this Rhino guy who died, John McCain, and they were working on like amnesty. He's Cuban, Marco Rubio is, so he's this Cuban, Hispanic, Latino. And he's used to be young, but now he's 53 is still somewhat young, but he's hit and miss, I guess, is a charitable way of saying it. We'll see what happens.
Did you see Kamala's announcement thing or whatever she did the other day, and how like torn apart she looked?
Yeah, she seemed.
She looked like out of it.
Yeah, poor Kamala.
This election killed her because Trump. I told everyone I bet on the election. I said he was going to win in a modern day land. I did not bet on the Tyson Paul fight because I really didn't know who was going to win that.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I told everyone, I said, look, I bet you that Trump's going to win a modern day landslide, and the results came back 312 to 226, and it's torn her apart more than it did Clinton back in 2016, for sure.
Oh, dang. Interesting point. Yeah, because she's much more immature. She hasn't really had much in the way of ups and downs. This was a major loss for her. And she was all excited. She had the easy win with Biden carrying her. Well, it was not really even Biden carrying her. It was anti-Trump sentiment carrying her.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it wasn't that they loved Biden. It was they hated Trump, and they're brainwashed. So
No, they totally used Biden, and he was just too dumb, really too senile to realize what was happening to him.
Or he didn't care. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get my president thing.
He probably didn't care. I mean, he was always at the beach.
Right. True.
Always
so
at the
true.
beach. I mean, not a care in the world. I mean, he probably didn't even know who was running the show. I guarantee you it was Obama. I guarantee you. It's
funny. I'm looking at somebody in the chat saying nobody was more torn apart than Trump, but I didn't see Trump torn up in the way that Kamala was torn up. He was protesting vociferously. He spoke very strongly about his feelings about what took place in the election, but you never saw him shaken. She looked shaken. She did not handle it. If she doesn't handle winning well, she definitely doesn't handle losing well.
You're 100% correct. And if he really was torn up, he wouldn't have come back as hard as he did.
That's right.
This is one of the best campaigns our country has ever seen.
Interesting
him
point.
Him getting shot at,
yeah.
all the legal stuff, him almost getting thrown in jail and stuff. And praise the Lord that all these cases are dropping. He has that, well, technically that one case up in New York that's still open, but I have a feeling it's going to get tossed just like all the rest of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, go ahead.
Trump has been very resilient, and so I like that.
To say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, he is what we needed this.
And that sets a good example, you know. Like I don't even care as much about the specifics of the policies and things. Although he's going to have overall, like, you know, big picture is going to be good for the country, I think. But his just the example and the spirit, it's like it's inspiring, and that's a good example. He's a good representation of strength in America, for Christians, for men. So right on. I give him a 10 for 10 in losing and in win, quote unquote losing and in winning. 10 for 10.
Quote unquote losing. You're right about that. I mean,
his supporters, another story. We are definitely fallen state people, a lot of us. So I don't care about that. And there's, you know, phonies in the chat saying, "Oh, he caused an insurrection." Give me a break.
Oh yeah. Keep crying.
Yeah,
keep crying.
Exactly.
Yeah, hey, but by the way, free J6ers.
Yes.
They will be released.
Nice.
He made a statement on True Social. I believe that's where I saw it.
Okay.
So praise the Lord on that. Yeah, I mean he went to Harris's so-called part-time summer job, McDonald's, and he did the whole fry. That was absolutely hilarious.
That was brilliant.
It was. I mean, he just had an excellent, and then Elon Musk endorsing him, Joe Rogan, all these people. The stuff that she put the people that wanted to interview her through, like I knew that Rogan. I don't know if am I allowed to say the name Rogan?
He's my competitor.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll say different podcasters who interviewed Trump and stuff. You know, Trump went to them just like the traditional way of them doing the interviews and stuff. But she was wanting them to come to her, and they were having this huge like scuffle. And I believe on one podcast, I mean, they brought their entire set to her. It shows who really wanted it. And Trump came out, you know, winning in the end. And it was a miracle by God that he was able to win the way he did.
Yeah, very nice. Cool,
Praise
man.
Lord.
It's great hearing from you. And I'm glad you're happy. But just keep it even keel, man. It's good to hear from you.
Oh yeah. Keep doing what you do, Hake.
All right. Thank you, Hayden in Texas.
All right. Thank you for taking my call.
All right. Bye. Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages? Hostages. Wow, nice word. Asks Trump. No, world. Introducing Truth Plus. Dismiss. I'm not going to pay for Truth Plus at this time. The world. Does it include the J6 hostages who have been imprisoned for years? Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice. Indeed, our greatest president, Trump. Insurrection, come on. You guys are men, aren't you men? I can understand a woman using the term insurrection. Come on. And you're black men, some of you guys. In the chat, I'm looking at. Shout out. Very graceful. Claiming the election was Schmollen is not losing gracefully. So says Cool Breeze. Anyway, shout out to you guys in the chat. You're trolling me successfully. Nice. You better do it day one, otherwise we're going to impeach the man. Very nice. Okay. Another call or two, guys. Andrew in Scotland on the line over here. Andrew, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing fine. How are you? It's good to hear from you.
Yeah. I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, it's nice and cold here in Scotland, as always.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it's cold over there. Oh, it is it is December. Makes sense.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm part Scottish. You know that.
I don't think if you're Scottish or Irish or what, because I've heard you say you're part Scottish, part Irish. You probably are. You've got ginger hair, but that's more a Scottish thing than an Irish thing. So
nice.
You probably are.
Yeah. I believe I'm Scottish because my grandmother on my mother's side was Scottish. She's dead now, but was Scottish back when she was alive. Nice.
Well,
so I'm at least like a quarter Scottish, probably.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, you have a little bit of annoying element to your personality, and that could be the Scottish bit, because Scottish people tend to be a bit annoying.
Interesting.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be that.
Totally.
But anyway, something more serious than that to discuss today, sir.
All right.
And I want to discuss Tommy Robinson and what you know of him.
I know that he's an Englishman. I believe he's an Englishman. Some people say he's Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's Jewish. But anyway, he's a pretty strong...
He's not Jewish.
Okay. He's a pretty strong personality on the Muslims who are in England and changing the demographics and not having the same civilization and same culture values as the Englishmen. There's a violation of free speech. He's been thrown in jail here and there for different things. They don't have freedom of speech in England. And it's a mess.
It is a mess, but what the mainstream media are telling people in America about him is not true, because he doesn't hate Muslims at all. He's got more Muslim friends than you or I would ever have together. He knows more Muslims than you could imagine. He's got an issue with the fringe elements of Islamic fundamentalism that turn into quite nasty behaviours. And people are calling him a racist. He's not a racist at all either. And people are calling him far right. He's not far right at all either. And it's just anybody who's British, who's watching your show, will probably already know everything that I'm saying about this guy, because the problem is that they have now jailed him for a civil offence, and they've put him in harm's way on purpose again, and they're trying to break him down.
Wow.
But what the media say about him and what spreads across to America, because I looked at what the media says in America about him, and they're just lying on him.
Yeah.
And it's out of order.
I didn't realize that he's back in prison or jail or whatever ever since October. So that's over a month.
He's got to do 9 months, and if he doesn't take down his documentary from Rumble, which is all his documentaries are still on Rumble, so anybody who's listening can check this guy out. You can see who this man is, and he is like a sort of warts and all guy. He's admitted the things he's done wrong through his life.
Yeah.
But a lot of things he stands up for are the truth.
Right.
And the way that they're punishing him is completely out of order, and loads of other people are also standing up for him to make sure that he doesn't get destroyed in jail when he's only got a 9-month sentence.
That's
For
wild.
a civil offence that's nothing to do with a real criminal charge. And their government is putting the man in harm's way.
Yeah.
The issue is when he comes out of jail, what's he going to do? And my advice to him, if he ever hears this conversation, is you're going to have to pass the mantle on to somebody else and go off and live your life in the sunset and stop causing trouble, because he's done enough trouble causing in my eyes.
Interesting point, man. So for his own life sake, he should just lay low a bit. That may be good advice for him. What a mess.
But I mean, that's not really the reason I'm calling, because he's not the kind of person that would take that kind of advice. He'd be like, I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
But the main reason for talking to you about it is because you're a pretty level-headed person. I've noticed over the couple of years I've been listening to you, the 2 or 3 years, and even though I don't agree with you on quite a lot, especially your music taste, which I find almost offensive.
You're the one who had you asked me my 3 favorite songs, right? And then you gave me your 3 favorite songs. I got to go check those out still.
Yeah, that's right. Aye, that's me. Aye. But what I mean about your level-headedness, I thought personally you would want to hear about that kind of thing, because you've already seen the United Kingdom is starting to fall. This is one of the few people that is willing to stand up for the truth, even though he's, got, let's say, skeletons in his closet, but he's paid for everything through the law system beforehand, so his hands are clean. But they're trying to push him to a point where he'll just shut up, and he won't, because he can't.
Yeah. No, I respect him for what I know of him, and these guys who are really in the public eye, they've in a sense they've brought a tough life on themselves. Guys like him, guys like my competitor Alex Jones and Donald Trump. Trump is handling it.
He knows Alex Jones. Him and Alex Jones, they know each other.
Yeah.
They're both born of the same. They're born of the same ilk.
Right. Yeah. These guys, I really wish them well, and it's just let that be an example that that you're not going to get justice from the establishment, which includes the courts, the police, the media, of course, obviously, your fellow countrymen. I mean, there's not much your fellow countrymen even can do. So I pray for them. Pray for our the persecuted whites, if you will, such as these guys.
Exactly. And he's been in my prayers for a long time. But what everybody needs to know, especially any of your Muslim callers, if they're listening, this man does not hate Muslims. He's just got to make that clear.
Right.
He doesn't hate Muslims, but the way that he's being portrayed is as if he hates Muslims, and it's simply not true. He doesn't hate Muslims.
Right.
He hates the fringe elements of the Muslim faith that cause destruction wherever they go. That's what he doesn't like.
Right.
He's not got a problem with Muslim people.
Yeah, it's kind of like accusing JLP. It's like accusing Jesse of hating blacks, or Hake of hating blacks. No, we love blacks.
Principle.
Yeah,
it's the same principle. You're
right.
Correct.
Interesting, man. Well, that's pretty brutal stuff going on in the world. Pretty unjust, and what's funny is it's cloaked in a false notion of justice. But it's really
that's it. Sorry.
But it's not. It's not justice.
No, exactly. It's a veil. It's a veil. And our latest leaders are actually proving to us that they hate us. They're proving it to us. For the first time ever, we're finally seeing that our quote-unquote leaders, they hate us.
Oh, yeah.
And it's quite shocking to the common man to finally come around to that notion, if you will.
Right.
But people are getting a rude awakening as they finally notice that their governments are actually designed now to hurt the people that they're meant to represent. And everybody's catching wind of it. And I don't know if you've seen the film Braveheart, But when Scottish people get angry, it's like there's no way back from their anger. They're just as bad as the Muslim extremists. They'll die for almost no reason.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
That happens when you anger people who have already got that anger inside them. It'll come out them. And I'll give you a little example if I may. I live in a place that's only 18 miles from another place. And when I was brought up, I was told to hate everybody from that town. And it was only 18 miles away.
Wow. You hate the people you're closest to. The Mexicans hate the Salvadorians and Guatemalans. And you from your town hate or told to hate to the people from the town over. The people at one high school hate the people from the other high school a few blocks away. That's always the way. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's it. It's crazy, but that is the way that your elders have told you to behave when it comes to your neighbours, going completely against Jesus' principle of love thy neighbour.
Right.
Basically, the complete opposite.
Yeah. That's why you got to be perfect, especially if you're going to stand up for what's right, quote unquote. If you're a Christian, you're going to be held to a higher standard, whether it's just or not. Or in people's minds, you know.
So. Well, I'm not interested in being perfect. That ship sailed a long time ago. But, I know that retribution is wrong. I know that vengeance is wrong and things like that. And that's unfortunately what you'll end up getting if you annoy Scottish people enough, because that's the whole reason why we used to fight with England. And it took us 500, 600, 700 years, depending on which historian you ask, to sort out our problem with our neighbour.
What a mess.
That's how long it took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're sort of a similar people. Sort of.
Well, the whole country was called England for many years until a bunch of Scottish people got the idea where, now we want our part of the country, England. And then England got all raised up about it, and then it took that long. It's like a boyfriend and a girlfriend, but Scotland's the boyfriend and England's the girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And it was the girlfriend, England, that didn't want to let her boyfriend, Scotland, go.
Clingy. Interesting.
Aye, exactly. And then you've still got to live in the same district. You know, kind of, you've got an ex, you don't want to live with her, do you?
Right. Very true.
Well, that's all I've got to say, man. And I hope you're keeping well, and thanks to everybody on your network, because you haven't, saved my life, but you've allowed me to see clarity, even though 2 weeks ago I couldn't stand Jesse for about a day and a half because of his stuff to do with politeness. I couldn't agree with it, but I thought, you know what? Take the advice. Let it pass. And now I'm not bothered, but I still disagree with instilling politeness in children.
Oh,
okay. It just shows you how bitchy I am, because I was like, I'm not even going to listen to him for a week.
That's funny, man.
And more about his not saying that children should be polite, because if you dare tell Scottish children to be polite, they run riot.
That's an interesting anecdote, man. And a great opportunity to check that judgment within. That's cool. Yeah. Great story, man.
It was. Well, thank goodness for the silent prayer and that, because I just stuck with it. And I was like, come on, Andrew, calm down, man.
Right on.
You get carried away. Anyway, thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your show.
Thank you, Andrew in Scotland. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. That's deep. Shout out. And TERRI in Ireland, also known as Oregon. How are you doing, TERRI? What's up?
Hey, my family came here a while ago. We're Americans.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, how's it going?
Going well. Thank you. Nice to hear from you.
So I called to, I don't know, I guess judge Tim Walz's daughter a little bit.
Tim Walz's daughter. Okay.
You said you were going to mention her. I thought maybe, we could discuss her behavior together.
Okay, let's see what I can do. You can go ahead and talk while I see if I can pull it up.
Well, yeah, people were recommending to me that I check out some videos of her where apparently she had, I guess after the election, she uploads all these videos just complaining and rallying her base, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the video, she was like really, I don't know, disheveled looking, like sloppy looking. And she also talked about like not brushing her teeth for days because she was so upset about the election. And
Really?
yeah,
I hadn't heard this part. Yeah.
It was really disturbing to see someone, you know, of her position looking and acting that way on social media, at least in my mind, because I don't know if I'm a snob or something, but I think when you're the daughter of a governor, you have a responsibility to like conduct yourself well. And
oh, that's right. Tim Walz is a governor. He's not just the former presidential candidate for the Demon Rats. He's the governor of Michigan or something like that. Something.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. That's right. That makes more sense. I hadn't heard that one from her. I had heard this one from her where she's talking about wearing this Christmas sweater, and she looks like a, you know, nice, mildly attractive young lady.
My sweater is from Old Navy. I've got big baggy black jeans that are from Free People. And thank you to everyone that pointed out that Free People, Anthro, and Sephora are all big donors to the Republican Party and Donald Trump. Good to know. I will take that into account in the future. Keep holding me accountable like that because I genuinely didn't know, and that's great. My sweater is from Old Navy.
So anyway, she's kind of like Hake but she's like a younger version of Hake in wanting to boycott these companies that support the quote unquote wrong people and wrong things. But she's not going to be able to do it. So anyway,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I don't think that's really appropriate either.
Right. It's
because
silly.
It is very silly, and it doesn't, I mean, I'm sure those companies also give money to Democrats as well.
Right.
So,
I know. I would be surprised if they really supported
most
the Republican Party or Trump.
Double dip. You know, they're trying to hedge their bet.
Yeah.
Get in good on whatever side they can.
Yeah, exactly. Trump supported both sides when he was a businessman. Primarily Democrats, but anyway.
Weak to have people pushing you around about what you're wearing and
I know.
telling you what you can and can't wear, or where you can and can't shop, and
meddling mamas. Am I right?
Yeah. All under the illusion of being a good person or being decent or something. Like, if you continue down that route, you're never you just can't live.
Yep. So true.
It's really oppressive. Those kind of, what are they called?
Struggle sessions.
I'm trying to think. There was a word that we used back in the day for it.
Who's we? The commies? Sorry.
Yeah, me and the other commies. We had a word for the idea that you could shop your way to a better world.
Oh, okay.
Oh shoot, I'm losing my edge, I guess.
Vote with your dollar.
Yeah, it's not identity politics. It's like personal politics, not personal politics. Shoot. Dang it. Oh well, but it's silly. It's very meaningless at the end of the day.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's also a drop in the bucket.
She's also in a position of privilege. Why is she letting the peanut gallery push her around? It's like,
that's right.
There's no grooming, I think, nowadays for the elite. The elite aren't elite anymore. They're not held to a different standard. They're not taught to be in any way, to hold a standard, and to give a standard, because back in the day, people looked to these people to set standards and to show you how to conduct yourself properly.
Yeah.
But it's clear she's not had any of that. And they clearly have, you look in the background of her videos, they clearly have every modern convenience and can afford everything, but they didn't properly educate her how to behave.
Right. She's a
It's
mess.
sad.
I had covered her before, and I don't remember where I came across it, but she was flipping out and a mess and silly. But, it's understandable. I don't know even how old she is. She's pretty young. But a know-it-all worrying her pretty little head about politics. And all caught up. Understandable that she's caught up. Her dad is a mama, and her dad is in it.
But why isn't her father, like, controlling her more and, kind of having her conduct herself properly so it reflects badly on him?
It really does. It's pathetic.
You don't have control of your family. How are you supposed to control a state?
Yep. Poor. Do you know what her name is? Not to dox.
No.
Okay.
What's her name?
We just go by Tim Walz's daughter. We'll just stick with that. I don't know her name either. I kind of don't want to know because for the sake of not doxing.
What about Kamala Harris's stepdaughter? She's an interesting one too.
Yeah, she's funny. She's kind of cute, sort of. What a mess.
She's definitely a hipster.
Right. That's what I mean. Terrible. She's the one who called her Mamala, I think, originally.
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess.
A mess. These young people.
It's a mess.
That's why it's another reason. It reminds me of reading Jesse Lee Peterson's book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, because you see how these people are raised, and it kind of gives you understanding why they're so evil and lost. People like Obama, Eminem, O.J. Simpson, sort of, and these others.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely helps on that level, just to have some understanding, because the parents your upbringing is a major influence on how you end up being. So
I know it's really amazing though, but it seems to like transcend class now, and it seems like it doesn't matter where you're born or if your family's together or not. A lot of people just aren't getting properly brought up.
Right. Yep. I think it's always transcended class, but ever since the 60s, I blame the 60s. And this is probably short-sighted because I don't know history. But in the 60s, they had this let it all hang out culture and defiance of authority. And so they threw out the baby with the bathwater.
And youth culture, too, yeah.
Right, yeah. And so, yeah, exactly. Oh, follow the young people, lead these revolution things. And these revolutions turn something that may be kind of bad into something worse. They may fix one little thing here and there, kind of like you want to give credit to commies for different things that they do. But on the whole, it was a change for the worse. And that's part of that, like you said, youth culture and throwing away the tradition, like the royals, the royalty in England. They knew how to conduct themselves at one point. At least they could keep up appearances, and that brought a semblance of I don't know, class, decency, authority. But now that's all gone. Yeah. It's completely gone.
I don't know, some of them still know how to conduct themselves.
Right. Definitely.
But it's a shame. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm short-sighted or silly to think it should be different, but I don't know. I just feel like if you're in that position,
Good to know.
Sorry about that.
So much privilege.
I'm playing around.
Conduct yourself properly and know how to show people the right way to be.
Yeah.
Be actually something aspirational, and it's like, okay, if this is the lifestyle of a governor's daughter, like what hope is there for anybody else to overcome or act decently or proper?
Great point. Well, it's great hearing from you, TERRI in Oregon.
Yeah.
I guess it's up to you to be the light. instead of Tim Walz's daughter.
I'm doing my best, but
Right on.
I also probably am not, but I also am not in the position of a governor's daughter,
True.
But I at least get dressed if I'm going to be seen.
Well, I like how this gal is dressed here, although a little bit baggy. I don't know if she gained weight or if she was always a touch on the heavy side.
It's a heavy
still cute.
family.
Yeah, true. But
it's Minnesota.
She looks good here. I support her outfit here. At least the sweater.
Well, what I saw was not okay.
Okay. The pants are a little bit butch, I'll say. But anyway.
Oh, man, I wish I could see it. I'm going to have to go back and watch.
Yeah, I'll keep it on for you.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice hearing from you, Terry.
Right.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. He likes a lot of things, as I see. Is she fat or fit? She just still has her baby fat. This Tim Walz's daughter gal. It's just baby fat. She's not a baby. All right, I know. Shout out to Minnesota. Those jeans are horrific. Corn-fed Midwesterners, indeed. Okay, so a little bit of content, shall we? I think we shall. I saw this thing from this person, on the internet, who got in trouble with the law. Remember him? Remember this person on the internet? He wasn't really even on the internet. Daniel Penny. New, says Colin Rugg. Prosecutors during closing arguments, because they're charging Daniel Penny, the former Marine, 22, 23 years old, I believe, Marine, with manslaughter or something like that. I don't know, something crazy. They tried painting Daniel Penny as a bad person because he called Jordan Neely a crackhead during his police interrogation. Jordan Neely being the young, not that young, homeless, perhaps on drugs, dark-skinned, era Michael Jackson impersonator. Looking so sort of effeminate there. But that's what Michael Jackson looked like, too. Born in 1992, died in 2023 at the tender age of 31 years old. Is that 31 or 30 and a half? And this put down not on purpose, and they claim it was by him, but I don't know if you can really blame him, because he was maybe on his way out, and then he brought this trouble on himself because he was bringing trouble, and he put the smack. He was bringing smack, and he's put the smack down. What a mess. 5'11", Jordan Neely, not a small person, not that small anyway. Homeless man in New York, I believe, on the subway. Had threatened people allegedly, had assaulted people allegedly by, throwing stuff at them. Very aggressive, kind of out of control. And so this is Daniel Penny describing the situation. And he called police. He's being interviewed by these policemen. And he, in passing, calls the guy a crackhead. So, crackhead. But he's not being malicious. Look at this and tell me what you think.
Kind of run with me and Detective Medina, the course of your day, where you're coming from, where you're going, and then what led up to, the incident on the train.
Absolutely. So I have class down in Brooklyn. I take the F down to J Street Metro Tech. My class was at 12. So once the class finished up, I was going straight to the gym. I go to the gym in Lifetime on 23rd Street. So I get off, I take the F straight from school to the gym. Was on there. I forget what stop it was at, but some guy came in. He's like, whipped his jacket off, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna I can go to prison forever. I don't care. I don't do this. At that point, I looked to the person next to me like, hey, just hang on to this phone for me. I had my headphones in and took it off and just kind of like grabbed him from behind because he came in just to like, because he was acting like a lunatic, like a crazy person. So
acting like a lunatic, like a crazy person. Hopefully you guys can hear this guy okay. It's not a high quality thing, but it's a recording inside of the, the police interview room. And Detective Medina, tell Detective Medina and me, kind of walk us through what went down when Daniel Penny took down Jordan Neely. And the Black Lives Matter calling it a murder. Give me a break.
Person. So
crazy person.
Rolling around the floor, and at that point the train stopped. I was like, someone call the cops, and he's still like rolling around, still going crazy. Had two other guys kind of help me, just kind of keep him from going nuts, and yeah, that's when you guys came. He got on like diagonally from me, so he came in, but I was on my phone, like listening to music. I wasn't paying attention. He's just a crackhead, you know what I mean? So
when you say diagonally, what do you mean?
Just a crackhead, you know what I mean? He was just a crackhead. I wasn't really paying attention. That was not a vindictive statement. That wasn't. This guy is just a normal, mature, early 20s military man. White. Very white. Whiter than Hake, honestly, in his presentation. Shout out. Can you walk us through? Absolutely. Blah, 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 blah. No vindictiveness in his voice, no bitterness, no malice.
Like the opposite door.
So if you don't mind, I could like... Yeah, absolutely. So
he even asked him permission. If you don't mind, I can stand up and kind of demonstrate it for you.
This is the door over here.
Okay.
He came in from like where you're at.
Okay.
It's where you are, Jordan. It's not where you're at. Or not Jordan, Daniel Penny. But hey, he's young. He doesn't know. They've been saying it for generations before him.
So he gets on and immediately he starts yelling at it. Like doors are still open at whatever stop he gets on.
The doors closed, and then he's threw stuff at those people, and he's like, if I don't get this, this, and this, I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm prepared to go to jail for life and stuff.
And do you remember specifically what he was saying? Like,
if I don't get this, this, and this, I'm gonna kill everyone. I don't mind going to jail for life, he said, according to Daniel Penny and other witnesses who also, some of them helped with restrain this out of control crackhead.
If I get this, this, and this, do you remember?
He said like maybe like Sprite or ginger ale or something. I mean, something along those lines.
Okay.
You're not you when you're hungry.
He seemed like he was on something. He was
absolutely.
Intoxicated and high.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that K2 that they're smoking, pushing people in front, like these people are going crazy. So
he seemed more.
He knows about that K2. People going crazy when they're on that K2, whatever that is. I don't know. I don't want to know.
A little bit, yeah.
Now, explain the interaction you had with him.
So I came up, he had his back turned to me, and I just kind of got him in a hold, got him to the ground. He's still like squirming around and still, going crazy. And I turned to a guy, I'm like, hey, call the cops, because the train arrived in Broadway.
Yeah.
And then waited for you guys.
Okay. Dan, you said it's Danny, right?
Yes, correct.
Do you mind showing me?
Sure, yeah.
Show Officer
Medina. So he's standing behind me.
Yeah.
Show Officer Medina what you did to poor baby Jordan Neely. And I don't know if these cops are setting him up, but you'll notice that he's not talking to them with a lawyer present. And the lawyers who are liars, but the lawyers who know, the liars who know, say never talk to the police. Don't talk to the police. And I don't know if these police are bad cops or good cops, or if there's such a thing. No cop is good, no cop is bad. Whatever. But anyway, ill-advised, I guess you could say.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so he's standing behind me, and I kind of came like this.
Okay. Did you apply pressure, Daniel?
No, I wasn't. I just wanted to keep him from getting to people.
Did you put your hooks in?
Wrapped my legs.
Wrapped his legs around him to restrain him. What a mess. And so this guy, Colin Ruggs, says, calling a crackhead doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you factually correct. Evil lame-o prosecutors. Scum of the earth. Just the facts, Hake. Just the facts. Shout out. During the closing arguments, the defense asked, who would you want on the train with you, Jordan Neely or Daniel Penny? And Daniel Penny, obviously. Lin Yan-Shin tells me to leave his thuggerized vernacular alone. He's a fine young man, and he is clearly a fine young man. Well-trained, you know? Not an ounce of malice or anything. He had no clue that he was going to get charged, I bet. I wonder if the police knew that he was going to get charged. The defendant, as nice and empathetic as we've heard that he can be, seems to have a real blind spot for Mr. Neely, said the evil, lying prosecution. They had an issue with the fact that he called him a crackhead in passing. Just that I didn't really pay attention, as a crackhead. While speaking with police. Give me a break. The Marine put Neely in a chokehold after the crackhead threatened to kill subway passengers if they didn't give him a soda. You're not you when you're hungry. Penny is not only a hero, but is a model citizen. Yeah. What a Chad. Except for that curly hair. But hey, he can't help it. So right on, Daniel Penny. If you're wondering what I'm referencing, follow the Hake Report on X and follow James Anton Hake on X. James Anton Hake on X if you like. If you so please. You don't have to. No such thing as a fine young man, Hake. That just means upstanding young man. Don't be... I don't know what you mean by fine. I don't mean fine as in like how you say, oh, a woman, she's so fine. Not like that. Thuggerized sounds
Kind
like
of
that.
run with me.
Oh, man,
and
what? Who
second
started
Medina.
that? Leave me alone. Scaring me. So shout out to that young man. Another example. Prosecuted for being white, basically. For being white and upstanding, and I don't have no ill will towards Jordan Neely either. I don't know. Nor towards those evil Black Lives Matter people who are calling the guy a murderer. The hatred ought to stop. Somewhere. Let it stop with you. Reminds me of the ridiculous... It's as ridiculous as the so-called case against Kyle, Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse. It's more ridiculous even than the ridiculous case of charging George Zimmerman when it was a clear case of self-defense. Prosecutors should never have brought that against George Zimmerman. They had to know. Common sense would say, you're not going to get a conviction. Prosecutors are supposed to bring charges when they can get a conviction. But no, they're bringing charges to justify falsely the anger of the Black Lives Matter types, and then exacerbate that anger when he gets off. Hopefully, he better get off. Some of these people don't get off, but I think he will, because it's not like the one where even some of the quote unquote good guys were suckers for like George Floyd. It's not like one of those cases where, oh, the George Floyd case, it looked kind of questionable what the officer was doing, even though it was probably overall pretty much fine what he was doing. If I grew my hair out, it would be a little curlier, but not like that, thank God. Although I don't live in a climate like New York. Maybe in other areas, other climates, I don't know if it's more humid, it would curl more. Get that hate out your heart. That ain't good, Hake. Indeed. Pray for Nelly. Yeah, I do pray for Nelly. Is that the guy with the Band-Aid? I liked him. Some super chats, fellas and ladies. Oh. let me read these super chats. I did promise to check them out. And I was in a hurry because I had guests or co-hosts or whatever. And so let me see if I can pull these up. Lord have mercy. Come on. What in the world? Okay, so the Little Rock It Man. Since I wasn't able to read all of his super chats the other day, he really liked Denise's call. So did I. She's a special gal. Denise. Beautiful Denise. He was complaining about the audio from the bus in 1971. Hurt his ears. That was a bad clip. It was a bad clip. But we got it worked out, and we played it today on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Check out the JLP show today. The forced busing. They call it desegregation busing. No, it was forced busing. Evil. I had a great Thanksgiving and a great Black Friday. $100,000. Very nice. Indeed. Calling me a sketch individual. How do you constantly defend evil? This person asked me, Little Rocket Man, and think you're going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. When I call into Joel Friday TV, let me check to see if Joel Friday TV is scheduled. You guys should call into Joel Friday TV if you like. Where's Hannah? Where's Hannah? Joel. Very nice. Some vain question about that. Psalm 51, 10 through 19. Psalm 51, 10 through 19. That's the least I can do is check this out. Hopefully this pulls up properly. NIV. Oops, KJV. Hey, I used to sing this song. Remember I would sing it. Create in me a clean heart, O God, that I might be renewed. Something like that. Create in me a clean heart, O God, that I might serve you. So fill me and heal me. I'm trying to do the hand motions, but I'm doing the same hand motion. And bring me back to you. I think that's Mary Rice Hopkins, by the way. She did like a serious song, sort of. Created me a clean heart, O God. Is this the one? 10 through 19. Yeah. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. See, I switched to KJV for you guys. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy, meaning your, free spirit. Hey, free spirit. You hear the liberal women trying to abuse that word. I'm a free spirit. No, you're not. Phony liberal woman. Shout out. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God. Deliver Daniel Penny from blood guiltiness, O God. Shout out. Thou God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. Every day on the Hake Report, for thou desirest not sacrifice, else I would give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit. A broken and contrite heart, O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy pleasure unto Zion. See, Zionist. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Spiritual Jerusalem, obviously, right? No, I don't know. This is David's, I guess. Did David write this one? Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering, and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks, nice word, upon thine altar. Bullocks. Are those bulls? The word bullocks has multiple meanings. A term for young male cattle? Ah. And a vulgar British term for nonsense. Sorry, English children, don't say that word. I didn't know it was vulgar. There's all kinds of words in English that's vulgar. It's not vulgar to American English. Especially castrated bulls. Ah. Oof. Zzz. Who knew? That's a load of... Oh, but they spell it bollocks. I don't know. But anyway, very nice. Thank you for sharing the Bible passage, Mr. One of the evil ones. Because, hey, you're not the evil one. The evil one is in you, and you're trying to get him out. He wants to censor the Bible now. Okay, that's the advice that I think you should take. And he wants the questions. I'll come up with the questions later, man. Right on. Bye. Trash talking about Big Bump. I saw that one. Let's see. I think I answered all that. If you wear the picture with your face, not the one of you pointing at the sky or the one where you look bloated, good grief. Wear something masculine like your desert pink. I think I read that. Anyway, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. That's cool. Is your mother Mary not a Christian? Of course she's a Christian. What in the world? Obviously my mother's a Christian. I was raised Christian. A normal Christian. Although we were a bit serious as Christians. But we were just normal Christians. Can't you tell? Do you try to correct her? You say things wrapped in evil and wonder why I challenge you. Once again, I love being the villain. And blah, blah, blah. You and your band of cowards have a platform to be pansies. What a mess. I will ask later. With your non-pithy super chats. And thanks for the Bible passage. Very nice. Okay. And some more super chats before I get back to these other things going on in the world. I'll tell you about a evil, that evil person in California. Gregatron says, hey, Hake, if I send you a Christmas present, should I just send it to the bond office on Pico Boulevard? I guess you could do it that way. That's probably a good way to do it. Or post office box, P.O. Box 35090, 90035. If you go to rebuildingtheman.com/contact, you can scroll down and find the P.O. Box 35090, 90035. That's in Los Angeles, obviously, California. Cool. Thank you, Gregatron, for the question. You could do the 6146 West Pico Boulevard. But it's trickier because the office hours are 9 to 4, and it's closed on Saturdays and obviously Sundays. I mean, we have church on Sunday. A super chat, a coffee, a couple of them, actually, from Popcorn's Thump Keg. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. That's a quote. He's quoting perhaps me. In a few of the coffees that I've sent to you, I've asked you to elaborate on your stance that businesses should have the right to discriminate and refuse service to anyone they choose to. Yes, I pointed out that while I don't think businesses should do that, if it were allowed, I don't think those businesses should have access to taxpayer-funded services like fire and rescue. Why not? If you want to put a no insert race/religion here allowed sign in the window of your restaurant, don't bother calling 911 when a grease fire breaks out in the kitchen. Wow, it sounds like a threat. Sounds like a mob threat. A DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion mob threat. Like I'm holding like a bat. I'm swinging a bat into my hand and being like, you need some insurance. You better serve everybody. I pointed out that while I don't think businesses should... Joe has pointed out to you on a few occasions some of the so-called civil rights legislation that you decry actually benefits you and prevents you, Hake, from being discriminated against, to which you push back and go, I don't want that protection. Put aside for a moment the fact that you admittedly haven't read much, if any, of the actual so-called civil rights legislation, and your opinion of it is shaped by what you hear and how it's represented to the public. How about what they're doing with it? In the event that you find yourself on an island because of the prevailing mindset of most business owners is, we don't want James in our store for whatever reason, pick one. You'll be glad those protections are in place. These are people living in their imaginations. Or you'll become completely self-sufficient, eye roll. Maybe team up with other folks who can't go in the stores and also work together, question mark. Wait, that would be into the group thing. So he thinks he's in imagination. Better scratch that and be an individual, right? No, man, you're way in your imagination on that. That's ridiculous. Blacks already had their stuff. Blacks had their communities where they could go ahead and do their own thing. Nobody was interfering in their stuff. Unless they started fighting with the whites and then they were fighting with each other and destroying each other's stuff, as they're doing to this day. And what a mess. No, anti-discrimination is evil. There's this mentality about things like, oh, that would never happen until it does, says this guy. How about all the evil things that are done in the name of anti-discrimination? Forcing Christians to bake gay cakes, forcing Christians to build gay wedding flowers and different things. How is that good? That's evil. That's evil. And that's done in the name of so-called anti-discrimination. And it wasn't because they're gay, it's because they're doing some wedding, a so-called wedding. And they're like, I don't want to, I'll serve you as a gay, whatever, I don't care. But I'm not going to contribute to your wedding because I don't believe in that. And they have a right not to want to do that, not to do it. And it has nothing to do with taxes or no taxes. That's stupid. You guys have a socialist, communist mindset. It's evil. It's an evil mindset. A mama spirit mindset, honestly. Just like you being in favor of only landowners being able to vote until such time that most landowners are liberals, which is just guy in his imagination. And then you, by your own admission, would go, I don't like this. Let's rethink this. But I guess you'll cross that bridge when you get to it, if I get to it. Because honestly, none of this has anything to do with reality. The reality is they are pushing blacks who don't belong in places where they don't belong, and then they're miserable. And then they complain about it. Oh, they're thinking that I'm here only on affirmative action. In some cases they are, in some cases they aren't. Maybe. And they don't see that the wrong thing was affirmative action or the anti-discrimination stuff. Anti-discrimination is a violation of your basic right to do business with whom you please to do business, to associate with whom you like to associate. Why would you want somebody to serve you who didn't want to serve you? There's a whole big old world that you can go to somewhere else. So there is no desert island where Hake can't get anybody to serve him. If I did that, it would be because I did it to myself. Or it would be because the whole government is colluding against me like what's happening to Tommy Robinson. What a mess. And in which case, that's the government discriminating against you. That's not private individuals discriminating, having either good or bad discrimination. Because there's good discrimination and there's evil discrimination. And it's love to allow people to discriminate, to allow businesses to discriminate. It's not love to force them to serve you. Oh, these blacks doing their blacks sit-ins. Oh, this mess. Look at that. That's not love. That's trash. That's a trash, evil, young, blind people mindset. You'll notice the old people aren't doing the sit-ins. It's young, useful idiots doing these sit-ins. These were young people because they're suckers. Oh, you shouldn't discriminate against me. You have a child's mindset. You and Joe from Phoenix. Look at them. They don't know that they don't belong there. They don't know that they should not impose on other people who don't want to serve them. Don't serve them. And then let the business stand or fail. Wish them well. It's like a girlfriend doesn't want to be talking to you. And you get mad at her because she doesn't want to talk to you. Why would you want to talk to somebody who doesn't want to talk to you? Why would you want to force? That's ridiculous. Evil, blind people. Look at that crap. Poor people. But they don't know. They were suckered into it. Misguided. Mama spirit. Pure evil. That is, the government cannot impose love. It's imposing that, and it's causing more problems pretending like they're solving them. There's no such thing as a right not to be discriminated against. I have a right not to be discriminated. No, you don't. Water is a human right. No, it's not. Health care is a human right. No, it's not. Blind people. It would have solved itself. But no, you meddling in it made it worse. Terry bought a coffee. You should do a S-word Pistols parody that says, never mind the... I don't know what this is saying. Okay, so it's a punk band from England, kids. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just a punk band. Okay, maybe it is bad. You should do a Sex Pistols parody shirt that says, never mind the bollocks, it's the Hake here's the Hake Report. Sorry, English kids. What a mess. This is going over my head because I don't know anything. I don't even remember them that much. I just know it was a early punk band. Punk rock, right? What a mess. Shout out to Terry. Thank you, Popcorn Thump Keg, Terry, Little Rock, It Man, Gregatron. You guys are a mess. Shout out to the Rumble crew, the D-Live people. Oh, was there anything else that I missed from... I think I pretty much caught up with Mo Betta. I think. Let me double check over here. I guess I did. I remember their music was I think it was pretty good. Water is a natural resource. Yeah, exactly, not a right. Yeah, they're old. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Sorry for yelling at you, Popcorn Stump Cake. I should be more patient because he doesn't know better. He's just a young black AI. And he's a Christian. Just one of those, black Christians. They just don't know. And he thinks that he's being logical and reasonable. No, you should definitely team up with people. You do need people in life. And get along with everybody as far as it depends on you. Get along with the blacks. It's like Tommy Robinson. He got along with the Muslims. But he didn't know how to get along with the people who are just pure evil. I mean, everybody's pure evil, honestly. Shout out. Okay, let me tell you about what HADEN referenced. HADEN in Texas mentioned this. What's going on? The road to resistance 2.0. California sets out. Look at this guy. What a sleazy person. Governor, so-called governor of the Golden State, Gavin Newsom, a demon rat. How embarrassing. Kicked off a special legislative session yesterday, Monday, I guess. Everybody loves Mondays, aimed at Trump-proofing the state in anticipation of the incoming administration. Gavin Newsom hopes that this session will be used in part to establish a $25 million fund to fight the president-elect's policies in court. Wow, that's evil. His policies are what's good for the country in terms of, deportation and all that stuff. It's not exactly chump change, but it might only be the beginning. During Trump's first term, the state filed over 120 lawsuits against the administration, spending $42 million. Told you. And these ignorant people think that Trump was able to just do whatever. No, he had major opposition, not just from California. 42 million. Blowing our money. They shouldn't be able to do that. As the Washington Compost notes, one of the state's lawsuits successfully blocked Trump's attempt to dismantle DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. Obama's unconstitutional amnesty, he even called it unconstitutional, and then he did it with the stroke of a pen. And now the so-called judges are saying you have to have a reason for taking it away. You don't have a good reason for taking it away. Something like that. This time the state lawmakers may have to resume that fight, and they're also preparing for legal battles over so-called reproductive freedom. What a euphemism, huh? Pollution limits and disaster relief aid. Reproductive freedom. What a joke. Democrats say the fund will help California stay ahead of future legal battles. Some pundits, people, you put an N in there for some reason, and it may be accurate, maybe the right way. Question how much this session will actually accomplish. Maybe more about boosting Newsom's profile as he eyes a potential presidential run. Yeah, I hope Newsom and Trump actually get along after all this saber rattling. Pretend like he's tough and then they get along. That'd be cool. Kind of like Emmanuel Macron. But I don't know if Macron is any good either. Other liberal states, such as evil New York, have thus far opted against holding similar sessions. Critics say Gavin Newsom shouldn't position the state as the first line of defense against the Trump admin, but should instead focus on finding ways to collaborate. Yeah. He seems to be attempting to strike a balance. I understand this, actually. This is what Trump would do, probably. Especially after his deep blue state shifted slightly to the right in the 2024 election. Did you note it? Did you know that? Newsom said yesterday he'll work with the incoming administration, but added, when rights and freedoms are targeted, we will take action. He has a sort of a gruff voice. Phony guy. Shout out to Pete Hegseth. They're going after him for drinking and misconduct. Come on, whatever. Oh yeah, protests going on in Georgia. Americans are having fewer kids. This is bad news. What's going on? Even though it feels like we can't escape gender reveal parties on our FYPs. Hopefully not. I don't know what that is. Hopefully that's not something bad. The reality is Americans are having fewer children every year. Every year. Because the illegals are having them for us. The fertility rate for women of reproductive age hit an historic low, or a historic low, last year, per CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. In 2022, 11 births per 100,000 people in the United States, down from 14.8 per 100,000 in 1995, which was already probably kind of low. The declining birth rate has some asking, is America facing an infertility crisis? Unclear. Fertility data focuses on married women of reproductive age, doesn't distinguish between people who've decided to be child-free, suckers, and those who are struggling to conceive. Probably suckers too, because they wasted their lives. So common nowadays. Their youth, you know. Research from Johns Hopkins, far left Johns Hopkins, found infertility rates among women have remained stable as for decades as of 2019. So it's a big mess. I could tell you that they're doing the education thing, edumamification. Women have contributed to inflation, so they've messed themselves up. By voting for inflation, voting for Democrats and rhinos. By working, so-called. By pushing for so-called minimum wage. By getting rid of drilling and being a mess. You know what I mean? Hake is part of the reproduction issue, says David Roberts. No, I'm not part of the issue. I'm just a statistic. Stay out of my business. Meanwhile, more Americans are choosing to start to have children later in life. Also a problem. Comes with its own set of issues. You know, an issue. Women's fertility drops significantly after age 37. Men's quality drops at around age 35. Whoa. Obesity rates continue to climb in the United States, potentially impacting ovulation and quality. the men's seed quality. Recent research also suggests exposure to harmful chemicals. Good thing we're bringing in that guy. Who's that, Chad? RFK Jr.? We're bringing in RFK Jr. to make America healthy again. Can negatively impact reproductive health. They actually do mean health at this time. And disrupt hormone functions. Experts say more studies are needed. Of course, you want funding for more studies, you dumb experts. Shout out. Sometimes those studies can be enlightening. But most of the time in your own life, common sense, there's some common sense that observation. And, you know, I don't take away the value of a little research sometimes. People are exposed to these chemicals every day, and these substances are hard to avoid. What a mess. The reason some conservatives are pushing Americans to have more kids. Related. Lord have mercy. They want to end cancer. Ugh. If they wanted to end it, how come they spread it? They don't know what they want. Confused. Beautiful ladies at the skim. Shout out. Okay. Serge in Texas on the line over here. Serge, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up? How you doing?
All is well, man. I'm just glad I finally get to call in and say what's up to you, man.
Hey. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, man. The bachelor life of Thanksgiving with no family. I'm a lone wolf. So
Me too. I didn't make it. I didn't even make it to my family's house for Thanksgiving. Terrible. Not terrible, but whatever.
At least he didn't use your family for food like Joel. Like he probably used.
Nah, he's not like that.
Oh, he don't.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that.
But no, it was the usual day for me. Usual meaning I pick up food every single day.
Right on.
Terrible. Yeah, I don't gotta do that no more though. All is well now.
Cool.
we got the woman. She'll cook, she'll clean, do all that stuff for me. I don't gotta worry about it.
Right on.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still watching. I've put people on, and at the gym. Actually, yesterday I was telling them about your show. One guy said he liked it. The other guy said you was the R word. And I was like, what the? I just let him have his opinion.
R word as in racist or R word as in slow?
Retarded. Yeah, that first one.
Okay,
like,
that's funny.
You know, let's let God work.
I don't get how people think I'm racist. I really don't get it.
they're not used to a man discussing issues to where he points out things within other. That's very when you say like,
okay, yeah.
oh, men, we got to work on this, and then when you're saying that, you'll say, blacks mostly do this,
right?
And so when you say that truth, they don't like that you pointing it out to a color as if you don't point out what white people do.
Right.
So that's kind of tough on their ears because they're programmed to believe that once you start designating it to a color, now you don't like the color. That's what they're programmed to believe.
Okay. Yeah, I follow that.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's just their brainwashing, their conditioning. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But that's it, man. Keep doing your thing, and it's good to be able to just listen in for the last. Keep reporting the news, man.
I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. Thanks for the shout out, Serge in Texas, Tejas.
You're welcome.
And good luck. Oh, you got me with the click. You got me hard with that click. So guy at the gym thinks Hake's racist. Shout out to that guy. Racist. It's funny, the blacks who are the most into race think I am. It's projection. It is. Shout out. I don't mind it. I feel like there was something going on. This is weird to me. I don't understand this story. Elon Musk, they're stopping Elon Musk from getting his pay. He took zero money and decided, it depends on how well you do. Isn't that kind of how he decided that he should get his pay? CNN stinks, by the way. They want me to pay money. Shout out. It's understandable. They're feeling the pinch. Look at our greatest president. You see him? I wonder what he's thinking. Is he thinking of me? Oh man, I have to start playing some Christmas music pretty soon here. Elon Musk's record-breaking pay package for serving as Tesla's CEO, again rejected by a Delaware court. Delaware, that's where they have that person as a congressman, woman, so-called. By the way, Delaware. All these New England, supposedly white areas. I don't think that's it. Who are the Delaware trends? McBride. So-called Sarah McBride is a Delaware congressman woman. Will succeed Lisa Blunt Rochester. This person who calls this person's self Sarah McBride. Is Mc always Irish, or is it sometimes English? Or never Irish when you have a Mc name? Where was I? Now I can't find it. What the heck? Where was I reading? Oh, yeah. Okay. So Delaware court. Despite being approved by Tesla shareholders at a June meeting, they're holding up his pay. Give Elon Musk his pay. The package worth around $101 billion based on Tesla's closing share price Monday, made up of 303 million Tesla stock options, previously thrown out in January by the same evil lame-o judge. I'm judging this judge. Delaware Chancery Court, Chancellor Kathleen, C-A-T-H-A-L-E-E-N, McCormick. Kathleen McCormick, this gal. I would vote for her too. She was just a couple years older than me, born in 79. These, as I get older, I'm like, what are these people doing in the government? And they're like in their 40s and stuff. This doesn't look like a judge. Look at that face. Shout out. She looks like she could play a judge on TV. You know how everybody has these women being so-called judges? Kathleen, Cathalean. What a weird, strange name. Kathleen St. Jude McCormick, born in 79, American lawyer, liar, and so-called judge, first vice chancellor, and then a so-called chancellor, first female chancellor in Delaware history. Delaware, how far you have fallen. She was born in Dover. That's the capital, I happen to know, I think, pretty sure. Bachelor in Arts. Hey, I got a Bachelor in Arts of Arts, BA, from Harvard. Psh, lame. Sucker. And her Juris Doctorate from Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Is it Notre Dame or Notre Dame? Legal aid lawyer. Private practice, blah, blah, blah. Something, something. What a mess. So she's interfering in Elon Musk's pay. What's the basis for that? At the time, they're calling her McCormick, but her name is Kathleen. Kathleen, and is McCormick... Oh, we need to early life check this person. Where's their early life? Born in Dover, Delaware, grew up in Smyrna, Delaware. That's a cool name, Smyrna. Almost as cool as Zix. It doesn't say what she is. Anybody know McCormick? She ruled in favor of the main shareholder in the suit who argued that Elon Musk and the Tesla board bore the burden of proving that the compensation plan was fair. Why do you have to prove that it's fair if it's agreed to? And they failed to meet their burden. Elon Musk's attorneys attempted to reverse McCormick's decision, but Monday, the motion was denied. Elon Musk is not paid a cash salary or bonus for running Tesla. Instead, his vast fortune comes from packages of stock options that allow him to purchase millions of Tesla shares for a fraction of their market price, since he's the one building it, by and large. He envisioned it, by the way. Or, you know, he used those people who didn't know what they were doing out of their garage, I heard on the American Anchor Baby. And so unless the company does well, he doesn't do well. If the company does well, he does well. Isn't that nice? You know, people work at a job. I haven't gotten a raise in 5 years. Well, first of all, the economy is going worse. And what are you doing for the company to bring value to that company? Why should you get a raise just for working, quote unquote, working there for such and such amount of time? Give me a break. Talk about a spoiled mindset. Blind. Shout out. I say shout out after I feel this sting that I'm judging these people. What a mess. Judge strikes, this is from earlier, January of this year, 2024. So almost a year ago. So-called judge strikes down, I wonder if CNN is going to block me. They're trying to make me pay. Judge strikes down, so-called judge, strikes down Elon Musk's massive multi-billion-dollar pay package. Article by Chris Isidore. I don't really care about this, but because he'll be fine. But it just shows you that people are spoiled, selfish, meddling, and it's infecting even the so-called justice system and the lawsuit mess, I think. Hake simping for billionaires, the richest man in the world. Whatever. Dumb. Bore the burden of proving that the compensation plan was fair, and they failed to meet their burden. So ridiculous, in my opinion. It's not about what's fair, it's what you agree to. You agree to it, that's it. That's it, you know? That's what I say. What a mess. Let me double check for. Oh yeah, there was another super chat. Speaking of riches and glory, I did see this. Mo Betta, what's up, man? Stop bootlicking the bourgeoisie, the whatever, however you pronounce that. I remember looking it up when I was homeschooled. The bourgeoisie, bourgeois. Speaking of the rich, Mo Betta. Little concerned of JLP's new gold owners sponsors. Ew. Ew. Why would you be concerned about that Mo Betta stand-up? I think you're brainwashed and conditioned to think, ooh, somebody, a sponsor. Uh-oh, that means the puppet strings are latched. Oh, being controlled. Oh, gold. Jews. Shout out to the Jews. That's a brainwashing thing, man. Stay out of your head. There's no cause for concern. There's no cause for concern. Support what you believe in or don't support. Live your life. Don't get into speculation or into your imagination about who is supporting or controlling, getting their tentacles, their multi-armed, long tentacles, or short tentacles over the Hake Report and upending the Hake Report or whatever, the JLP show. It's kind of like saying Trump is owned. I don't get the sense that Trump is owned by anybody. But people want to say Trump is owned. But I don't get the sense. I don't get that sense. Can you see the realness? That's a bad word. How he's real. JLP, Donald J. Trump. And yeah, isn't it interesting? Men of God, JLP, Donald Trump, they both love Israel. Isn't that nice? And they both love gold. So go to Jesse loves gold with one O. Each of those latter two words. JesseLovesGold.com. Nice. I need to get some Christmas music ready, and I only have a few minutes to get to Rick in Hampton, VA, who is on the line over here.
What's going on with you?
Hey, it's good to hear from you, man. What's going on with you?
You too, man. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was nice. Appreciate it.
Man, you know, I had to comment on the shooting Jesse was talking about on the show. It was about, the white guy shot the black guy?
Yeah, the white neighbor shot the black neighbor over the black neighbor cutting down maybe the white neighbor's tree that was branching over onto his property or something like that. And so they called the police.
He shot him, though?
I believe, allegedly, he did shoot him. I don't think that it's even really denied by anybody. But I don't know.
Now, my thing is, like, I know how blacks are, too.
Yeah.
Let's say if a white person comes say something to a black person, hey, look, that's my tree. The blacks would get hostile, and then he just ran to one that didn't back down.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting point.
Hold on for a minute, Jay.
Oh, Lord. Where's my Christmas music? Lord, Rick. I can't do that. Get to check on Rick. He's at work. He's a working man. Poor Rick. Sounds racial, says Inferno224. I mean, that could play into it a little bit, especially when you have a conflict. Let me know when he's ready. Oh, he's back. Okay. Oh, hey, Rick, I put you on hold there.
That's my fault, man. Yeah, shoot. Kind of answer the switchboard, too, as well. So, anyway, but I was saying, too...
when there's a conflict,
man.
you bring up the race issue because you're right. Whites and blacks, whites sometimes have a really different culture and a culture of anger, maybe. And blacks, too, have a really different culture, a culture of anger.
Right.
And it's
the victimization attitude.
And when they have a conflict, they're going to bring that stuff up, especially. And part of that is because, like you said, black neighbors are sometimes problem neighbors. And sometimes these stubborn white neighbors also can be problem neighbors. And like JLP made a great point, they're a problem for each other, and they can't. It's a mess.
It is anger, but I'm just saying too. See, I can even get along with somebody. I don't think Mark's a bad guy.
Right.
If I can meet him, me and him, he'll say, "Hey, that Rick guy's a best friend. He's one of my best friends."
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of times, sometimes blacks act more hostile toward whites, especially when a white person's trying to correct a black person.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. And what a shame. That's the evil world. That's why that warning is there for Mark, for you, for me, for everybody to stay clear of that anger, because with that anger, you're not clear-headed and you're going to get yourself in trouble and you're going to hurt others.
Absolutely.
And it's hell. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Terrible. Interesting point, Rick and VA, Hampton, VA.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of times, man, because see, like, a white person can be just as nice, and man, black will go off, man, and they can be in the wrong.
Right.
And the white person's trying to tell them right, and they get out just, and like I said, it's a way to keep blacks voting for them in the politics. To me, the most dangerous when it comes to blacks is the liberal blacks and the liberal whites and other liberals.
That's right.
They make them feel like victims and stuff. They can't do nothing. And I never felt
like a
victim of something.
That's good. That's good. I mean, there's always these blind spots that we got to watch out for, Rick, Because guys like you and me, we're pretty nice guys who feel like we get along with everybody, but that can be irritating, there's always something that you got to check.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, on yourself. Poor black guy.
Yes, it is, man. I mean,
I'm laughing with him. I'm glad he survived. That's crazy, man. He got a bullet. So according to the story, he got a bullet or a round or whatever right next to his spine. So I hope he doesn't get paralyzed or anything.
Yeah. That spine ain't nothing to play
with.
Man.
He's with sorry about that. He was with a light-skinned gal. This black neighbor. That's some tall hair. Oh, he looks like a cute pink-haired gal. Look at this guy. I probably have listeners who have hair like this. That's some wild hair, man. He looks like one of those educated wild-haired blacks. Anyway, Rick, I got to run. I'm running down to the wire. I'm glad you got in, though.
Oh, man,
it's great hearing from you.
Call, man. But I just wanted to point that out, man. A lot of times.
And that's not something that's acknowledged by the man himself or anything. So
right, only thing he's attacked and he's racing, and that police came on there. He really don't know what happened. The only thing he says, we're gonna get this. I want to say, if I was the chief of police, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
and we're gonna
this guy
hold people accountable.
And
that's all he had to say.
And that evil, unchristian Minneapolis mayor, forget him. Shout out.
I began to think the whole state of Minnesota, not all, but most.
Yeah.
Demonic.
Well, thank you, Rick. It's great hearing from you. Take care, man.
You too, James. Love you, brother. Be good. Talk to y'all later.
All right. Bye. This has been the Hake Report, and it's time for some Christmas music.
Santa is the greatest. Santa is the greatest. Santa's the greatest. is the greatest. Surfing on the USA with Santa on the sleigh. Surfing on the USA. Okay, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.